A big welcome to you, Scorpio. Now the moon is again in your sign, and it takes a whole month, right? So you have always 2, sometimes 3 days where you feel at home, right? Where the moon, the emotional side, is giving you a sign to who you are, and how you get along with yourself, right? Accepting yourself as you are, right? The sun, though, right now is in Capricorn, right? And we have with the Capricorn, a lot of people have a little difficulties, right? Looking at the devil, but the devil is an energy that Capricorn, right? It's this goat. It's the Greek god Pan. It's the fertility god. It's the god that says we are chained to a fertility ritual, right? In the dark, we do things that we would never do in the light, because in the dark, new ideas, new seeds are born, right? And so this attachment, it's not a negative attachment, it's an attachment to a rhythm, it's an attachment to an energy, right? To a celestial energy that is happening up there in the sky, right? When you look outside now, the animals are slowly saying, well, let's have again the offspring. Right now they're copulating, and so this is kind of like an attachment to it. This, of course, the Hermetic Tarot, Mr. Waite was in this brotherhood, secret brotherhood, and he showed it in another way, where he also created the devil. The bat wings were now attached. He even included the pentagram to the third eye, right? Not just pointing down to this lower dimension, but also within us, in our own visual inner seeing. The third eye is the inner seeing, is letting us know we're attached sometimes to this dimension. It's because it is so wonderful, right? This dimension is a feminine energy. That's why it's a dark background, and he's attached, right? The tail has grown in the lovers. He stands in front of the tree. He or she stands in front of the tree with the snake and the apple in the tree. Now they become attached, and he, with his left hand, I always have to check, because here I see the right hand, and then I look and I'm like, oh no, it's the left hand, right? So here he is attached, right? He gets, with the left hand, the spark, right? She ignites that spark in him, and vice versa. Now he, of course, has Mr. Spock mudra, as you can see here in his hand. He's doing it here in this hand as well, as you can see. Look, I never saw it, right? When you look closer into these cards, right, the more I have a whole month like talking about this card, right? And then when the next month I talk the whole month about the star card. So it's very good for me to go deeper into these cards, because I want to paint them. Now, this mudra means what you see is not all there is. There is, right, when I look at it, right, there is this, the right and the left. And there is this in the Hierophant, right? There's energy up, there's energy below, and in between is higher consciousness. So here there's a separation between these two and these two fingers. And this is almost like a downward pointing space. It's earth, and up, it opens up, right? It's pointing downwards, like the pentagram is pointing downwards, right? So here, up here, there can be an opening. It could be also a sexual energy, right? It could be the vagina, because it's this earth, right? Sometimes it could be that there is this vaginal entrance, right? Or birth in the womb coming out, maybe, right? And so they're attached to a cycle. Here again, I show you Aleister Crowley. I don't like that so much because it's more looking like a penis. Doesn't look like a feminine card. But nevertheless, all three are masculine, right? I mean, you see it clearly. This is for, they think it's a masculine energy. They think the devil is a human being, is leading us to become like that. And the church liked to create this negative energy, right? So they can control the people. Now, exactly. She is the energy of Capricorn. She is a feminine, right? It's the dark night, and in the dark night we are attached, right, to this cycle. So you can walk into the reptilian brain. You can go higher up, of course. Then there is the mammalian brain, and then there's the neocortex, which is then the third eye, right? She didn't include the third eye here. She kept that dark. Very interesting, right? She kind of covered that almost. And then the lips are dark because when we speak, this comes from within, right? The energy that we see from within. So the red and the white, red first chakra, white the seventh chakra, we can go into this little like amygdala, into the reptilian brain that is attached to these cycles, right? Very clearly, we can almost not get out of it, only if we connect to the horns, to the antenna that's reaching down. Here very clearly, it's reaching up, right? It's that fertility. It's the fertility of creating the new generation is within us. We must create the next generation, because the next generation is what makes this life continue here on earth. Now, with the higher consciousness, we can, of course, understand this kind of rhythm. Now, my card, I show you in a minute. I created Nataraj Asana, the dancer pose. It is a beautiful pose. You yogis who have taken this pose, you love it as well, right? I can feel that. Is because we are liberating, right? We're having one foot in the earth, and it is really, right? Even though it's heavier, we're really in the first level, even though this is the 15 card, meaning number 6, 1 and 5. 1 is the magician, 5 is the Hierophant, but 6 is the lovers, right? So here we are with this, in this lovers game of finding yourself. Here I put these two opposites, right? We go towards the dark and we go towards the light, right? This is Cancer season and this is Capricorn season. We had then here, of course, the Wheel of Fortune, and here Saturn coming very close together. They created the star of Bethlehem, right? And Saturn is attached to this lower dimension, to the heart, to the emotions, while this is more light. It's almost like I want to paint here above something else, right? I don't know yet what it will be. I have to look at this one more time, right? Maybe I will find something. I want this to be up there as well, a symbol. Here I painted the moon. Maybe I do something with that. So the sun rising again, the sun again going towards the north, right? It's going again towards the light days, right? We're going back. It's not that it's going forward, it's going backwards. It's going, the sun is going back again to the summer, and here we go into the winter, we go into the Capricorn. So, you, my dear Scorpio, you are, of course, a water sign, and we connect with you always to our sexuality. So when now this card, and of course the devil, I will get there in a minute, right? When we see your card, it's about transformation, and an orgasm or sexuality is transformation, because we create the next generation. Again, we are as well attached, right, to an energy here, to something that has to happen, right? We can't get out of it at all, right? The show must go on, no matter how many people are dying. And not in a negative way, the show must go on. It just keeps continuously, right? When one dies, he is immediately liberated and born again, right? So this is where the sun is rising, the sun is not setting. And of course, the Pope is connected with the sun. That's why he's wearing a yellow dress, and he can even look death into the eye while the king is lying dead on the floor. The child is intrigued, right? Is innocent, is looking at death. And the young girl that's just occupied with her beauty, she's looking away. She doesn't want to face this reality. The white horse is the spirit, the white flower is the spirit, and the black background is the fertile ground where the seed was able to grow into this beautiful flower, a never-ending cycle between black and white, inhale and exhale, death and birth, right? Then, of course, we have here Aleister Crowley, the same. He put a fish in here because noon is the Hebrew word for this card. Noon is our subconscious. Noon is where we evolved out to, right? And of course, we see the snake here as well. And we see the phoenix. Here is a phoenix. And here again, behind his head is again a phoenix, right? Here, then, as you can see, very interesting, the face is white, the path is dark, right? The path is towards death, right? Here the path is white and red. So it's also very interesting how she played with the colors and giving us a feeling more of these, of the symbolisms, right? Sometimes simplicity is as strong as like packed symbolisms in a card, right? So it's very interesting to look at these cards and to find always new cards. Now, I show you the evolution of my card. This was the first one that I did. The ocean, right? The deep. Mem is the word here for, the Hebrew word for this card. Mem is the ocean. Actually, no, sorry. That was the Hanged Man is Mem. Yeah, sorry. You're Noon. Sorry. Sometimes I get all in the other. But again, this transformation is happening in a birthing feeling. So it's like the blue, the color inside. Then I painted here the card one more time. And I said, okay, I want the phoenix, I want the birth, I want the noon, the fish rising out. We're rising out. And then I created two of the Scorpio, right? This is the Scorpio pose in yoga. And beautifully, it happened by itself that when I painted the head of the phoenix, the toes became the eyes. The seeing, the new seeing, when we go upside down, when we go reverse, when we let go of that mental mind chatter, we are evolving, and this is the earth is being born and fresh and new. I want now also to paint the white and the universe behind it, right? So you can see the evolution in these cards as well. It's very beautiful to kind of like learn deeper and deeper truth about these cards. I love in the back the shadow game, and that's really where this card comes in, right? That we see sometimes with the light bizarre shadows on the wall, right? That the sun does with the plant, with the natural environment around us, right? When we see with the candle the lights projected, or like the shadow projected onto the wall. If you're born between October 13 and November 12, you're the classical King of Cups, and the King of Cups always shows us a path of devotion, of love, of going deep into the cup. Of course, the kings are connected to the air symbol, but nevertheless, you are water. So water and air are clouds, right? And by clouds, I can see that you rise above, right? You can maybe get out of that feeling that maybe you're not stuck in that deep ocean, in that deep water, right? So you kind of working your way out of it, right? It's very important for you that you not get drowned into this energy, right? Very important. So here you are, right? You are connected to the air. All kings are connected to the air, but you are the King of Cups. Then, of course, here we know the weight card. He is in the middle of the ocean on this platform, and he's just, right, allowing himself again. Blue, yellow, and red are the primal colors, right? It's letting us know that you're connected to the beginning. You have a fish chain here in front, right? You are deep in the ocean. Then here with Aleister Crowley, he made them princes, right? They're not kings yet. And then of course here with her, you are the King of Cups, standing here in the ocean with these waves. I'm not like so crazy about her court cards. And then here you're Parsifal, right? Parsifal is one of those old kings that was looking for the Holy Grail, and I just wanted you to see this card. All right, so let's start with your reading. Now, very important is that you are a water sign, and a water sign gives us more humidity on days where we have your sign. Then we really love to eat carbohydrates, right, on water days, all the water days, right? And the plant part is leaves, and your body parts are the sexual organs, right? Is the penis and the vagina. So you are very sexually oriented, and of course you are connected to the nerves, because the sexual organs are literally the biggest nerve endings in our body. Now, the male penis has 4,000 nerve endings in his tip, and the woman's clitoris has 8,000 nerve ending in her clitoris. So you can imagine what that does, right? So an orgasm is an overstimulation of our nervous system. And the nervous system, what does it do? It connects us to the world, right? It's like a window. It's like my eyes, nerve endings going into the brain. My nose, nerve endings transmitting what I smell. My ear, my mouth, right? And my skin, all nerve endings that are giving me information from the universe, from my surrounding. Now, if I overstimulate, I actually go into a higher consciousness. The orgasm is a small, short glimpse. Of course, the way we have orgasms here is a short glimpse into a higher consciousness. into also what people describe a near-death experience, right? La petite mort. Why do they call it la petite mort in France? It's a little death. You have a moment of a short near-death experience, right? And very interesting here is also the fact that you, as a Scorpio that is connected to the sexual organs, are searching for that, right? You love to search again and again for this orgasmic experience, right? And so it's clear that the nervous system, as that part of you that you need to cultivate, you need to understand your nervous system. Very, very important. Okay, the first card that came out is you're an Empress. Look at you, right? Doesn't matter, male or female. A male, you are somehow also have arrived in an understanding, because the number 3 is understanding, is Bina, right? My name is Sabina, so I feel very connected to this Empress all the time, right? I feel like this is my thing. And look what cape she has around her shoulders, right? Noon, fish. So you are connected to this deeper consciousness, right? To this subconscious. And she is in giving birth to a new earth. She is fertility goddess. She is always connected to the moon, right? Because she's the feminine. All feminine is connected to the moon. All masculine is connected to the sun, right? Now, I have here a little bit of a list. These are the 10 Sephiroths, right? So the Bina, she is the Empress, right? She is the original idea, and she created now the triangle, right? This is a triangle, and I show you my card that I'm painting for her. She sits in front of the world. There is the triangle, right? And then here are the 12 zodiac signs, the full moon and the new moon. And of course, pink, the triangle, as that oldest earth color, is actually pink. And then I'm actually making here a forest in front, right? So I'm working, she's connected to Venus. So this is my painting for the Empress, right? So only when the Empress comes up, I show that painting. I'm still working on it. I'm not finished. So here you can see she is actually giving birth to this idea, right? We have this idea in the seed. The seed is the Fool, is the 0. Then the 1 is the Magician that creates this next witch seed, right? Which is then an idea of the natural forces, like how it is in the purest form. And then the High Priestess before that is basically saying, here, there is water, here's earth and the plants, here is fire, right? And then here is the sword, or the idea, the thought, right? So these are the 4 elements in its now state of giving birth to a new creative energy. I mean, I can see that you are, let's see what else is coming out, right? Now, when you think of a point and then another point, you have duality, right? You have a line which connects one dot to the next dot. Now, the triangle, we have 3D, right? We have depth, we have height and length, and we have as well the depth, right? That's what the triangle is all about. So this is the child that, or the idea that is born. It's action or pure potential, right, to grow to the next level, right? This is now, let's see What are you doing with this, right? You have transformed yourself to a beautiful Empress, to a beautiful goddess, right? You connected with your subconscious because Noon is your name, the fish are here. And of course, the earth is Maya, right? Which is sometimes also called illusion. Oh, wow. So here we go. Okay. So you have the Two of Swords coming after. The Two of Swords is connected to the High Priestess, and the Two of Swords is Moon in Libra, which is actually, this doesn't look very peaceful, though it's peace restored. There is something within you that you can, when you look within, right? As I said, when we close our eyes, we can see what wants to manifest. When we look into the world, we almost feel overwhelmed how much has been already manifested. But when we close our eyes, right, we can see within that there is an understanding, that there is an awareness of, I can create new things. I think she should have painted one blackbird and one white bird. It would have made more sense to the card, right? I really feel that that would be pretty cool to see the Two of Swords as that moon, right? The moon as the full and the new moon, and Libra as the scale, as that balanced, right? They're in the same height. So in a way, when she closes her eyes, like this Empress somehow also closes her eyes, half closed, right? And she touches her hair and she's connected to her feminine. Here you are also saying, okay, there is within me a search, right? A thought of, should I go in this or should I go in this? Neither one. You stay in the center. So Chokmah is the wisdom, right? Which this card is connected to. Wisdom. And it's the father in a way. It's like polarity, division, right? Interesting. Wow. Twice, 2-2 already. Right? So here as well is an equilibrium, is harmonious change, and here is peace restored, right? So there is something that you are able to do. You're able to come into your awareness. Now, Chokmah, wisdom, is polarity, is division. You need two to create the three. So I put this underneath because they belong together, right? Thought and materialistic energy. So in Chokmah, does the element appear, right, in its original, purest and most natural condition, right? So in a way, it's almost like this is mirroring. This is mirroring the opposite, right? Like the full moon opposite the new moon. The full moon is being highlighted by the sun, and the full moon, the moon doesn't become any light. So the light and the dark. So here she missed somehow also to make this more of a lighter bird than this one. Now, the next card is Ten of Swords. And Ten of Swords is the Sun in Gemini. And the Sun in Gemini is saying the ego, and Gemini always goes for, the ego goes for love, goes for awareness, right? Is searching for it. And you are at the end, because 1 and 0, which is the 10, again creates 0, a new beginning, right? Because this is a new beginning on another level. It's a negative card, but in a way it's saying you're going to a new level of awareness, a new level of consciousness. You are growing up. You are psychologically, because this is Malkut. 10 is always connected to Malkut. Malkut is the kingdom, is where the earth, the kingdom of the earth, right? And here we have come to a higher level of awareness, of consciousness, right? Here we have learned, here we have grown. Okay, then what comes next is 5 of Cups. And 5 of Cups is basically saying Mars in Scorpio, right? That's you. This is for your card, Mars in Scorpio. You are learning that things come and go. You are learning that Mars is sometimes the harsh opposite of what you are. You are love and more love. But remember, you always have 2 cups still left. And now we have also the high priest, right? The Hierophant. This is Taurus. This is an earth sign coming into your life. But as well, you can see we go up to a spiritual ladder and we can go back to a spiritual ladder. And I have a ladder in the back here, right? I always love how then the light is projected. Sagittarius, right? So now we have people coming. I mean, this is a high, this is a major arcana, and this is a major arcana, but this is all people, and this is a Taurus, right? This is Sagittarius, this is a knight, and the knight of fire is fire and fire. This is earth, right? An earth, that's why he sits down here. She could have painted him up here, but he goes mentally up into the state. And the 7 of Cups, and the 7 of Cups is Venus in Scorpio. So you have, right, here Mars in Scorpio and Venus in Scorpio. So there is within you a deep search to be fulfilled. Here, this is just a moment in life where you get sad. You know how to bring yourself back up, right? That's sometimes this overthinking makes you sad and you realize, oh my God, why am I doing that to myself, right? Then you know that you can actually spiritually get out of that. You know how to go up the ladder. Now here, like a Sagittarius, like a knight that searches for the spark, for the fire, also for creativity and sexuality, knows that this illusion, right? The 7 is sometimes also being a little lost in how many options you have. But nevertheless, all these options you have give you hope to understand, wow, I can actually do something, right? I can actually create something, because 7 is Netzach, is victory. So you have victory over the understanding that water gives me imagination and creativity. And of course, you have as that fire in the Scorpio, the spark to make that imagination and that creativity something. See what I mean? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last card. Wow. The 6 of Coins, and the 6 of Coins is Moon and in Taurus. It's success, right? Nevertheless, you go through these difficult situations, you know how to bring yourself to a place of a certain success, right? Financial also. 6. Here's the number 6. We don't have another number 6, right? So you know how to give and take. You really know how this works. And of course, you also you have 2 times a 10, and you have 2 times a 2, and you have 2 times a 5. You also know to let go by going down, right? That's Saturn in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius here is in your card. So maybe there's a Sagittarius there that you start realizing you don't want to do so much work anymore. It's finished. Right? In the 10 of Swords in a Gemini, maybe there is a Gemini that creates sometimes a little bit this kind of extreme overly thinking, right? But you begin fresh, but it does make you sad, right? This overthinking is making you sad, though you have a spiritual path. You know exactly how to work it. You also know how to celebrate. And when you celebrate, look what's happening, right? When you celebrate, you get the 7 of Cups and the 6 of Coins. Nevertheless, be careful not to do too much, right? This is saying go back down, out of this too much. Okay, so I want to see why you have the 10 of Swords here. What is that? And the 10 of Wands, right? I want to know the 2 10s. Yeah, you tend to do too much because you can be too much. Not in a negative way, right? Because you're intense. You're an intense personality. But you're learning. You're growing. And you are the Empress. You have 2 major arcana here. Meaning you are learning in duality, right? One is female and one is male. You are accepting duality, and on top of it you have, right, these 2 2s. And look, you have here another 2. 2 2, right? So what is up with the 10? Why you are going into this overthinking? Overdoing. Because you're learning to become a goddess, Empress. It's beautiful. Is it a Taurus that makes you feel like that? The Knights, right? The Knights are always searching. So maybe you're still searching for something. You're searching, right? If I take the people out, then you're searching for a spiritual path. You're searching for something that makes you happy, that makes you emotionally happy, successful. Because the 7 is connected to victory, to Venus. And then here the 6 is connected to beauty and Tiferet, victory. Okay. Oof. This month. It's only this month that you have realized that you need to let go of too much thinking and too much doing. Right? And it's again temptation. The devil here is a temptation. The devil again this month is a difficult month for a lot of people. Not just in general a difficult month, but also because of what's happening in the world right now, right? the material world was abused, and the material world is kicking our asses right now by a virus, by a sickness. It has to change, right? We have to learn how to work these dualities. We have to learn how to come into our center. We have to work with nature, not against nature. And that's what it's saying. She ate too much. Look what she does. She lies on the apple and she's totally intoxicated. So you are a little bit lost by this month, right? That's why the number 6 here. Let's see what's at the bottom of this. 8 of Pentacles. So there's work to be done, right? In the material, like you understand, there's giving and taking, but there's also now a deeper learning about a financial up and down, knowing that this up and down exists, right? Change is constant. It's like an oxymoron, right? So that change is happening all the time, right? It's not fixed. It's not once it changes. It changes all the time. Change is a fixed energy. And you learning, because 8 is infinite giving and taking. You see the 8 with the light behind it? Right? She's saying, yes, give. When you give, you take. When you take, you give. Learning and working more on becoming better in what you're already good at, right? Being such a beautiful Empress that you are. Being on your spiritual path. Work on it. Go further. Go deeper. Learn why you're doing this. Only you know why you're doing this. Learn why you, right? Why you taking too much onto your shoulder. So in this month, you're learning, you're growing. In this month, right, you're learning to become spiritually more empowered. Yeah. This month is for you, giving you signs how to empower yourself spiritually. 2 earth signs, right? And of course, in a way, this is the earth. Look at the earth. Do it for the earth. Don't do it for the financial gain. Don't do it just for this, that I make more money. Do it because it's coming from deep within. It's coming from a goddess, from an Empress way of doing life. Doing the spiritual path, right? Learning that in this month. Use your little horns. Does she have little horns, this girl? No, but she has something covering her face. Anyway, this month, right? So I see you again in the next month when we have the sun in Aquarius, right? In the star card. And again, I will see what happens with you, but you are on the right path, right? You are learning, you are growing, and you're working on yourself, right? You're working on yourself to become even more connected to your inner spiritual world. Good. Thank you for watching. I see you again then in the next month. Namaste.